Awesome. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. We're just going to give another minute or two here for everyone to join and get their audio set up. So thank you so much for your patience. We'll get started here in just one moment.
We do have captions enabled for this webinar, which is something different from our webinars in the past. If you do find it to be distracting in any way, I can hide the subtitles and then you'll receive the transcript after. Just pop it in the Q&A box if you would like us to disable that feature.
Great. Well, I think we're a couple minutes here past the hour, so I think we'll just dive in, and then people can kind of join as they wish. But thank you all, as I mentioned, for joining today's pipeline product webinar. Super excited to see so many familiar names and also some new names in the attendees list. Just to quickly introduce myself, my name is Annie Mirvong. I am product manager here at Pipeline, and I'm also joined by Kimberly Longhauser, who is a customer success manager. We also have our director of customer success, Ashley Whitney, who is here just joining in case there's any questions and things that pop into the Q&A box. So we're just super excited to dive in today and run through some of the exciting improvements that we've made to the product, and just make sure that everyone's fully up to speed on some of those enhancements. I think that these types of webinars are awesome because it's a nice collaboration between our product team and our success team. So we obviously work super closely together, but Kimberly is going to be kind of taking us through some of the use cases and some of the different ways that you can utilize this new functionality. And I'll be talking through some of the sort of more behind the scenes product kind of perspective, and then also talk through how you here on this webinar can have your voice heard in helping to shape the future of Pipeline. So with that, I'm just going to dive into today's webinar agenda. So we're going to do a quick overview of the product feedback portal. I just want to make sure that everyone is fully up to speed. We're coming up on a year now that we've had our product feedback portal, and it's been an awesome resource both for us here internally in making informed product decisions, and then also just for our customers to feel like you guys can have your voice heard, and that feedback that you provide is making its way directly to the right ears. So and then I'm going to jump in and we're going to do a kind of overview of the advanced visibility enhancements that we've made to the account setting. So that was a feature that was rolled out last week, and super excited to run through that enhancement. And then Kimberly's going to take us through sort of a demonstration of that functionality, talk you through team utilization and how you can set users up, and how you as like an admin, or even if you're a basic user, you'll get to see kind of what that functionality looks like. We're also going to highlight some of the new calendar enhancements that we've made. So we'll jump in and do a quick kind of demo of some of those enhancements. And then we'll actually also have a teaser of some of the new functionality that we are going to be rolling out here in the next month to the automations. And I'll talk through that there at the end, and we'll leave time as always for Q&A. So please, feel free to pop any questions that you have into the Q&A box. I just want to make sure everyone sees that little Q&A icon. You can ask your questions there. We'll be answering those. Some of them we'll answer as we go on, and then we'll also save time at the end just to answer any questions that are really pertinent for the whole group, as we'll answer those live. So Kimberly, do you want to launch the poll? And we're going to kind of start with a poll. I'd just love to kind of get a pulse on sort of how everyone is feeling about the enhancements that we've made to Pipeline. Just would love to kind of see where everyone's at in terms of, these changes. Are you completely in the dark about what's been released? I'd love to know that, so you can kind of get a sense for where everyone is. If you feel like you kind of have a good sense of what, like, things that have been rolled out, would love to know that. And then if you feel like you could be doing this webinar and, you know, are really up to speed on what's going on, that would be awesome to hear as well. So awesome. Thank you guys all so much for jumping in. I love seeing this engagement. Cool. So it looks like, oh, go ahead.
No, you're good. 70% first you're hearing of it. So this is good. This is good news.
Awesome. Well, you know, just to kind of give everyone some background. So, you know, we're going to be kind of looking at different ways that we can engage our customers with these exciting enhancements that we're making. So, you know, we'll have a poll at the end. If you guys are finding these valuable and would like to see these on a more rolling basis, please do let us know, because this is one way that we're just, you know, hoping to get more information out to our customers, and hopefully have you guys all just understanding how you can get more value out of our tool. So awesome. 75% our first hearing of the update. So this is great. Super excited. So let's not waste any time here and dive right in. So oops, I'm giving the teaser away. Okay, we're going to dive right in to our into my test account over here, and we're going to take a look at a couple things. So first off, product feedback portal. We use customer feedback largely to drive our product roadmap. So, you know, it's key. We really love hearing from customers about, you know, what you would like to see in pipeline, where you're experiencing pain points, you know, things that you know, would help make your day-to-day easier. You know, obviously there are lots of different factors that go into, you know, our decision-making as a product team, but really, we do take that feedback into consideration when we're making those decisions. So in your pipeline account, under the help icon, you'll see the ideas icon here, and that's going to take you to our product feedback portal. And in that portal, you can go in and you can add in your ideas and, you know, make sure that, you know, if you have something that you'd like to see in pipeline, that you can, you know, go in and have those ideas, you know, sent to our team. And we do go through every single one of those ideas. They come into our Slack channel. I read them. I'm, you know, staying on top of all of those ideas here. So within the product feedback portal, you can, you know, see ideas that are trending. So, you know, what other customers have been asking for, and you can go in and add your votes, and you can add comments. And one feature that was rolled out recently in the feedback portal is the ability to say, you know, is this important? Is this, you know, critical, or this really just isn't all that important to me or my company at all. So, please jump in there. If you have questions about it, reach out to our customer care team. But this is a great place to have your voice heard. So that leads us to, question.
One quick note, not a question, just a quick note about the product idea portal. I've seen a lot of feedback recently and just some chatter in terms of creating a community here at Pipeline and allowing other users to have access to other accounts and or collaboration feature. The product portal is a great way to get in there and see what other people are saying and create that community for yourself. So it's a little known piece of it, but it's a great use case for this exact webinar. So sorry.
Awesome. No, thank you. That's a really good point, Kimberly. And like I said, this is about a year now that we have had the product feedback portal. So, you know, it's been, I think the feedback has been really positive so far. So please, you know, just utilize that forum, and it's a good place to have your voice heard. So let me just, I have lots of pop-ups here. I've got a poll in my let me just close out of this, close out of that. Okay, all right, there we go. Now I can see my screen. I was like, wow, so many Zoom things. Awesome. So I am here in my pipeline account, in the account settings. So I'm going to run through some of the changes that we've made to the custom field visibility and the custom field group visibility options. And the reason that I brought up the product feedback portal prior to jumping in here is this functionality was largely kind of This was largely developed based on feedback that we heard from our product feedback portal from customers just like you. So, we heard and we understood from that feedback that there was a need for customers to be able to remove the visibility of different custom fields and different custom field groups from different users on their account. So, whether this was for, privacy concerns, so maybe wanting to make certain financial data or, commission data restricted visibility to different users on the account, or even just kind of cleaning up the view for different teams that you have. So maybe you have project management teams and things like that. We really understood that there was this kind of need and desire to have more control over what users on your account can and cannot see. So that's really where this idea stemmed from. And, we took that and we developed that into greater kind of restrictions on custom fields and custom field groups visibility. So as an administrator on your account, you can now go into the custom field section here under data entry. And you'll see when you're creating a new custom field or editing an existing custom field that you have the ability. So if I just go in, I'm going to create a new drop-down field here. You'll see this visibility modal that's now available. So what this does is it gives you the ability to set default visibility. So if you were to create a new team, what's the default visibility for this custom field? And then it allows you to set new restrictions specific to the teams that you have on your account. And Kim's going to go into kind of creating teams and how you can utilize this functionality, some use cases there. But the teams that you have, so you can say, maybe our project team, we, want them to be able to see this custom field, but we don't want them to be able to edit any of the functionality. So you can toggle that. And this is really just giving you like more granularity in terms of, what specific teams can see, cannot see in your account. So if we set another team restriction, maybe we want the sales team, we really just don't want them to be able to view any of this custom field data. So they're not even going to know that this custom field exists within their account. And you'll see when you do that, the edit and the add columns are toggled off by default, because if you can't view the field, you can't edit it. This add column, I just want to explain a little bit more what this functionality is. So if you have utilized some of our previous like locked custom field functionality, which is really what we're calling edit functionality now. So restricting the ability for users to edit custom fields on your account. The previous kind of way that worked was that the users could still go in, and when they were creating a new record, they could add data to that restricted custom field. So that's not, maybe that's not the best use case for a lot of teams. So we gave that option back to the admins. We gave that back to you guys to say, when a user creates a record, can they add data to that locked custom field when the record's created? And then is it just locked from there on out? Or, is it just locked from the very beginning? They can really never edit or add anything to that custom field. So we're just the goal here is to really give more options to our admins to say, this is the kind of data that our users can add. This is what they can view and edit, and so forth. So this is specific to individual custom fields. If you want to restrict the visibility for an entire custom field group, you also have that option as well. So, this is great because you're not having to go in and say, set the custom field visibility for 10 different custom fields. You can do that at the entire group level. So within the custom field groups here, you can go in and edit, say our onboarding custom field. Maybe you don't necessarily need that to be visible to the sales team. So you could go in and say, our sales team, anyone that's a part of that team cannot view any of this onboarding custom field information. So that is those are the big changes that we've made, really just putting more options back in the hands of the admins and giving you guys the ability to have greater control over your data in pipeline and control over what your users can do. So I'm going to turn it over to Kimberly, and she's going to talk us through some of the use cases and teams. And really, as a customer success manager, she's the one that's really helping accounts utilize this new functionality. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to her.
Sounds good. Let me know if I freeze or anything like that, because of course, weather timing, a storm just hit our area. So if I freeze, Annie, just jump in for me. Perks of working from home, am I right? So you can see here, as Annie has eloquently demonstrated all of our different options, I'm going to get right to the chase and right into the usabilities. Your question and answer box is open and available, and we do have someone manning it live. So please pop any questions in there, or if you want me to go into greater detail. You are able to post those, and we can answer them live and or save them for the back 15 minutes of today's session. So with that, today we are in the account settings navigated here. The account settings, as a reminder, is where you can control your account as a whole. Any changes and edits here are applicable to the entire account. And for the changes that we're talking about today will impact either complete teams, either via the fields or the custom field groups. So team structures and roles are something that a lot of you are more than likely very familiar with here at Pipeline. We have our executives, our team leaders, and our team members. With today's changes, the executives will be the only ones exempt from any visibility changes. Just wanted to make that call out quick and right off the top. So as we work through like our use cases today, I'm going to reiterate that and reinstate that. But if you have any questions around who can see what and where and when, pop them in the box and I'll make sure that we cover it. So here within my paper company, I have a couple different teams. I've got our project team, our sales org, sales team, and then Acme, which reports up to our sales team. I created this on purpose for today's demonstration. So you'll also be able to see clearly who is a team leader versus who is a team member. We'll have these clear little identifiers here. The visibility settings that we are going to set with custom fields do impact team leaders as well. So again, the only person exempt from the visibility advanced changes are going to be those executive users. With that, we're going to go ahead and jump down to custom fields and start changing our visibility settings. So here within custom fields, you're going to see quite a few options here. We've got the custom fields other, which is our custom field standard group that's applied to every account. The custom field groups are a great tool for organizing your profile pages. I do have that tool, that tab open here. We're going to visit it after we edit our visibility. These will create individual modals on your profile pages, be that company, deals, or people, and you're able to have as many of these custom field groups as you would like. Depending on your plan level will depend on how many custom field groups you have access to, but we do not limit the amount of custom field groups. When creating or adding a new custom field group, it's the same on each company, deal, and person record. Just going to quickly cover that. We're going to click on Manage Custom Field Groups, and using this plus sign here within the pop-out modal is how you can add new custom field groups. For today's purposes, I'm going to edit our existing, and I'm going to choose onboarding because, like I mentioned before, I have a couple teams within this account, and our default settings is that everyone can view, edit, and add information to our onboarding section. I don't want that to be the case anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and restrict sales org from viewing it completely. And then I'm going to limit sales team edit ability. So now my users within the sales org are not even aware that this onboarding group exists. And then our sales team are able to view and add information upon record edit or creation, but they cannot change it once the record has been saved. We're going to go ahead and hit save on that. And once you have restricted a custom field group, you'll see this little headline, this little kind of banner to let you know, like, hey, you've got a team level restriction on here. This will appear no matter if you have any of these three toggles toggled. They can still view it, and you can take away the edit access and the add. You're also able to delete and update these restrictions at any time. But as long as there is a sales visibility or a team visibility restriction added to this matrix, that little banner will appear. I'm going to go ahead and add that back real quick. I actually had that the other way. There we go. So we're going to save that. Now we have edited and restricted our onboarding group. I'm going to go ahead and double check the rest of my custom field groups and ensure that there are no custom fields that I need to hide on a one-off basis. I know Annie discussed us adding a new custom field and how those matrices will be available here. We're going to look through all of our groups and make sure that these are where they need to be. So custom fields other, they all look good. Booking and scheduling projects, and then calculated fields. Commission can be a little bit tricky depending on your organization and your sales org. So if I have my calculated fields here and I want to go ahead and hide this from different teams, I can hide the calculated fields as well. We do not have any restrictions in terms of visibility applying to different fields. It's applicable to all custom fields. So if you have any questions there, just let us know. And I'm going to hide this one as well. So you'll notice if I'm updating the default visibility and not adding a team restriction, this means that this field is only available to executive users. One of the questions that came in, the project type it was for an example, as in I have a project pipeline. So it's a little bit more of a this is my account, my paper company. So it's gone through a couple iterations.
Yeah, your paper company has seen a lot of change over the last year. So,
but we're going to stay focused on our onboarding group here for now, because this is the one that we've enabled the team restriction here. So I'm currently logged in as the leader and executive of Kim's Paper Company. So if I come over here to my deal profile page, I am going to refresh the page very quickly and show how that the deal profile page will look upon general creation. So this is how every deal profile page is created within Pipeline. Your pipeline will be here at the top, deal details on the left, people on the right, agenda on the right, and then you have your activity feed, and it works on down the road. So you'll see here's my custom fields other, my booking, scheduling projects, onboarding, deal attributes. We made a restriction to onboarding, right? But I'm logged in as an executive admin. So I'm going to pause my share really quick, and I'm going to flip to one of my basic users. Give me 1 second here. Loading. Apologies.
Awesome. And what, oh, no, don't worry about it. You're just jumping in there. There was a question that came into the Q&A box about if an individual could be part of multiple teams, and if so, what sort of visibility access would they have? It's a really great question. Thank you for asking that. So a user cannot be part of multiple teams at the moment, so they can only be part of one team, really just that's the way the functionality works. We are looking at, any improvements that we could make to team structures. So again, if there's a need there, please feel free to add that to the product feedback portal. Okay, sorry, Kim.
No, you're good. My screen share is frozen, so I'm just trying to get the records back to where I need them to be. And
that's no problem. If you want, I'd be happy to jump in, share my screen, and we could, while that's going on, I could share my screen and we could talk about the calendar functionality real quick.
I think I might have it, but yes, go ahead. I'm going to stop sharing, and then I'll pull back up my profile pages.
Okay, perfect. Let me just make sure. Okay, awesome. All right, you can see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm going to jump in and talk about some of the improvements that we've made to the calendar over the last, I guess it's just been a month now. So really the goal here was was manyfold. So the first one being, over the last year, we have added quite a few filtering capabilities and filtering options to the calendar. And one of the great things about these filters is that you can set colors for different task and event types. You can also set colors for different users. So whether you're looking at, a user's calendar, you can set the colors there. Let me just close that filter. You can set the colors for different users on your account. So really just giving you a lot more options to say, these types of tasks I want to be this color, these events should be this color, and I really only want to see, these users on my account, and so on and so forth. So lots of different filtering options. So that's awesome. Great. But what we heard from you all was that, these filtering options are great, but if you're going in every day and having to go and reapply all of those filters so that you can see the, information in the way that you want, if you want to have just to see your sales team's calendar, and every day you're having to go in and reapply that filter and, change what the view that you're seeing, that's a lot of time. And, the goal here with our platform is to save you guys time so that you can close more deals and close more business faster. So what we've done is we've given you the ability now to say, you can apply filters for different users that you have on your account. So if you want to, say, let's do all of these. Oops, let's just add the test here. We'll do that for today. September is, I'm like, what is today? It's June 8th. There we go. Okay, cool. Awesome. So we'll add that test and we'll set this for today. Oops. Okay. And we'll do search for me. Oh, and show all tasks and show, there we go. I was like, there's nothing showing up on this calendar. So we've applied the filters to this calendar. And if you wanted to be able to save this calendar to, refer back to it in the future, you could, remove any of these that you want. Maybe we just want to make it ours, for example, ours and the project teams. Okay, great. So you can now go in and save this as a new calendar. So this was also, the goal here was to create consistency across our different areas of the application. So as you know, when you're on list views, so if you're on a deal, company, or person list view, you have the ability to apply filters and then save that list to refer back to. And the goal here was to apply that similar functionality to the calendar views so that, you can apply those filters, you can, change the colors and the, the formatting, and then save that as a new calendar. So we'll just call this our new calendar view. And we will save that. And in the same way that you can refer back to saved list views, you also have the ability now to refer back to your saved calendars. So you can say, look at your project team's calendar or your sales team's calendar, or maybe you just have, your outside sales team and you want to know what they're working on. So if they have, capacity, that is another great use case. So that is some of the calendar functionality that we have that we've rolled out. You can rename existing calendars. So if you want to, change the name of that, if you make any changes to, the filters or anything like that, you'll see that same kind of pop up here saying changes were made. Do you want to, save that calendar save it as a new calendar or save the changes that you've made. So those are some of the updates. If you have any additional kind of things that you would like to see when it comes to the calendar, please either reach out to our customer care team or add those ideas to the product feedback portal. This is very iterative process. So if there's changes that you'd like to see, please reach out and let us know. And that is it. So I'm going to turn it back to Kimberly now that I've done my little calendar PSA.
Yes, great. All right, let's get this back up and rolling. Are you able to see my account settings? Okay, just to bring us back in line here. So I've edited the onboarding group here, and we've got the sales org not able to view it, and then the sales team is able to view it and able to add. Just wanted to highlight that really quickly as I move through this. Here I am logged in as a member of my sales team or sales org, I'm sorry. And you can see that I'm on the same sunflower printer delivery deal as we were viewing at the start of today's session. And as I scroll through here, I can see my custom fields other, my booking scheduled projects. There's no custom fields here at this time because that field is restricted. And then you can see that I've got my calculated fields and my deal attributes. What we're missing here is that onboarding section because it is, again, restricted from visibility of members of the sales org. I went ahead and opened up a secondary deal under Brandon Combs, who's a member of the project team, who would have access to be able to see that onboarding modal. Now, as a reminder, we did say that executives are the only exceptions to the rule. So if you are an executive, but say you manage a sales team, you just need that extra visibility and that extra layer of access, you do have the ability to hide those modals yourself for your specific profile view. Here in the right-hand corner under actions, you've got the option for edit layout. And I'm doing this again under Brandon, who has access to see the onboarding ones. But let's say Brandon is the team leader and he's not really facilitating those onboarding calls or scheduling those. He can go ahead and scroll down here on the left-hand side and hit this little eyeball, which will hide that modal altogether. Anytime that you're in edit layout, you're able to drag and drop and reorder your modals here as well, as long as it's in line. If the activity feed is the most important, you can have that on the top. If agenda is going to be more important to you than the person that you're working with, go ahead and move that to the top. Again, it's all in line. And this is profile specific. So Brandon's aspect and layout is not going to impact Robin's layout. So we're going to go ahead and hit finish editing. And you'll see that those modals have locked in place. And now the onboarding modal is gone. Say he wanted to find that modal again or unhide it, you would use the same actions and then edit layout. We do have the disclaimer, very similar to the way that you can notice if a custom field group has been restricted. You can see which one has been hidden here, and then you'll see it again with the nice red text here to illuminate. Edit layout is available on all three profile types, be that company, deals, and people. And that's just a profile specific way. It was actually the precursor to our advanced visibility. So I just wanted to point that out and bring that to the forefront. But again, advanced visibility is such a great tool. Really encourage you all to get in there, really work through your different teams, work through your different visibility settings. And as a reminder, the START plan has one team, Develop has, I believe it's 2 teams. And then with the Grow plan, you have access to that unlimited teams and that unlimited teams and unlimited custom.
Right. You're right. You're right. Sorry.
It's 1 pipeline, 2 pipelines, 5 pipelines for that one. I'm going to hand it back to Annie for your little preview of the automations, unless she has anything to add for advanced visibility or another use case.
Yeah, Kimberly, I just wanted to, while you're sharing your screen and we're still on the advanced viz topic, I would love to just kind of quickly run through the different options per plan. So advanced visibility, and if you just jump in and go to add a new custom field, there we go. All right, so if you are on our start or develop plans, you're going to have the same functionality that you had previously in terms of the ability to lock a custom field. So you'll be able to toggle the edit column, the ability to say whether or not a user can view a custom field is only available on our Grow plan, and as well as setting the team restrictions. So I do just want to make that, that clear, saying team visibility and the kind of ability to set custom field group visibility is only available on our Grow plan. That being said, if you are on our start or develop plans, please, feel free to reach out to us. We would be more than happy to turn on a free trial of our Grow plan and, give you kind of the ability to test out that functionality before you commit to it. I just would love for, if you are on start or develop, please don't, hesitate to just reach out and, we'd love for you to test it. So, and have that option. So please reach out. And that is that is that. I just wanted to cover the quick kind of plan distinctions there. So, and our Grow Plan also has a lot of other awesome functionality as well. So you wouldn't just be getting this, you'd be getting the whole other like long list of awesome things that are available on Grow. So
Customer management, multiple pipelines, unlimited teams, unlimited custom fields, so many more.
yes,
Drop us
exactly.
a line if you are interested.
Yep. Yes, exactly. There's our phone number and our email for our customer care team. So please reach out and we'll be more than happy to help. So with that, we have a little bit of time left here. I just wanted to quickly, actually, I'm just going to kind of talk through some of the changes we're going to be making to our automations functionality. So within the next month, we're going to be doing kind of a big like revamp of our automations capabilities, as well as the look and the feel of the automation section. So Kimberly, if you actually go into the automation section here, and automations, if you are an admin on your account, you'll have the ability to go into the automations section and set up. These are basically if-then statements that allow you to automate different aspects of your, kind of sales process, or, managing deals as they move through your pipeline, managing the post-sale relationship, and things like that. So this is the automation section of the account settings. And some of the things that we're going to be rolling out, and I'm super excited about it. And I can, once I pop back and share my screen, I can give you kind of a taste of what that will look like. We're modernizing the UI, so it's going to be a much more user-friendly experience. It's also going to look and feel a lot like the rest of the application, which is going to be super exciting. And then we're also adding, we're completely like, I guess like boosting the trigger option. So, when this happens in pipeline, we'll be adding all of the different custom fields as well as system fields as triggers for deals, companies, people, as well as customers. So there won't be, any kind of like missing triggers. Everything will be available for triggers. The other thing that we're going to be adding, and I'm really excited about this functionality, is the ability to create time-based triggers. So you can say, 5 days before this estimate date on this custom field, I'd like you to send a notification to an admin. This is information that we have heard from our customers, that you guys want to be able to set, notifications or emails to specific users. You want to be able to do that based around time. So helping you to kind of keep things from slipping through the cracks. These will be able to be based around like deal close dates, expected close dates, as well as any date-based custom fields. So super excited about these changes. Really just trying to, again, like the goal here is to make your lives easier and make it so that you can spend less time doing, mundane sort of rote tasks within your pipeline account, and get back to, the things that are most important to you guys in closing business. So those changes, please keep an eye out for those here in the next month to 6 weeks. And we will, there will likely be probably another webinar where we'll run through those changes and just make sure everyone's like fully aware of all the awesome things that you can do with automations. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to reach out. So there's a question I just saw come into the Q&A box. We've been asking for if the expected close date changes to create and assign a task. So that will, that should be accomplished with the changes that we're making. Yes, because it's based on dates. So
we have it available, but we don't have like the specificity. So you have like where you can do expected close date changes, and you can do some actions in terms of that. So it is an option already existing. Definitely reach out to our customer care team and we can help guide you through the specifics of your ask. And if it ties back to our time-based triggers, we'll definitely follow up with you.
Awesome. That sounds great. Let's just see if there's any questions that are coming into the QA box. Okay, great. Okay, awesome. Yeah, please do reach out to our customer care team and they'd be more than happy to help. So with that, I think that that's all that we had to cover today. Kimberly, is there anything else that you wanted to touch on from like a success product perspective?
I do not have anything specific today. I have a real soft spot for our task and template creations, and I did add that to our product webinar. So while we're here and while I have you all, I do want to highlight it because it will play into our automations as well. You can apply task templates. We talked about custom fields. We talked a little bit about associating a task. Here in the account settings, the task and event types, and then the to-do templates are something that I personally am very passionate from a success standpoint. You're able to create a list of repeatable actions and set the date to trigger them upon, which I find to be very useful, especially for when I'm running through onboarding. Recently, within the last year, we've enabled the option of enabling these templates across record types, whereas historically you would only be able to create one for either a deal or a person. So now you can have it on all types available, and you can also set it as default. Again, these to-do templates are such a great tool to automate certain areas of your sales process. For this here specifically, I've got close a deal in 5 days. You can see that I've associated the type and the name. This day is calculated upon the date the to-do template was applied. So if you have this set up in an automation, say your pipeline is set up with multiple stages, and once it moves out of that initial stage into any other stage, you can have this triggered, this template triggered and assigned to that triggered deal owner, and then it will calculate. So say you started a deal today, moved it tomorrow, your first day would have that confirmed signature due on June 9th. Again, this is a great tool for organization and a great tool for automation. I definitely suggest getting in here, kind of playing around with it and messing around with it. And we also have the new priorities, which are great if you have a bigger team and they like to have those big flags in front of your face. I personally like high for quite a bit, but you can use medium and low, and you also can create your own priority levels, similar to the way that you create the deal statuses or the person statuses. So really great options here, really great tools. Something that I definitely highlight on all of my calls with my clients, especially through onboarding. It's just a great tool to get more use and more adoption out of pipeline.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great call. And thank you also for mentioning some of the enhancements that we've made to the task and event, the to-do templates, as well as the priority levels. Those are some awesome changes. And then there'll also be a couple of other changes. So keep an eye out for user voice. There will be a couple more customization options for task and event types coming soon within the next few weeks. So let's see. And then the other thing that I was going to mention on the task and event types, it's a really great way just to kind of standardize process as well. And, make sure that no one's going rogue and kind of doing all sorts of different things. It's a nice way to create a standard process.
Yes.
Awesome. If there are any other questions, please feel free to pop those into the Q&A box. I'm just keeping an eye on the questions here.
I'm going to go ahead and launch our ending poll. This is to post webinar. It's to get a gauge as to how effective our webinar was and how you're feeling education wise.
And then while you're launching that ending poll, I also just wanted to mention that if you're a new user to Pipeline and you just signed up for this webinar, you're probably a little bit like, I just was looking for the foundation. So we have resources for you. Kimberly has run a series of awesome onboarding webinars. So please feel free to, we'll include links to those recorded webinars. And if you would like to sign up to watch or, be part of those live webinars in the future, Kimberly is showing you where in our knowledge base you can sign up for upcoming webinars. And that's a really great way if you just dropped into this webinar and you don't really know too much about Pipeline, that would be a really great place to start, because we just kind of launched right here into kind of the advanced kind of usage. So please feel free to join those. And, our customer care team is fantastic and more than happy to help answer any questions. So I know we've mentioned it multiple times, but that's a great resource for you if you're just getting started there. And awesome.
We do have a session starting for onboarding bootcamp tomorrow. So if that's definitely something that you're interested in, I'll make sure that that registration link gets sent out with this recording. But again, you can access it here directly from our upcoming webinars page within our knowledge base articles. And the way that I accessed that, just to make it nice and clean, was the help icon here in the top right-hand corner. You just click right here. It'll bring you to this search knowledge base. You can search upcoming, or you can search bootcamp. So Pipeline Onboarding Bootcamp will also link you to the one pager if you don't have time to attend the live sessions. I update these links periodically with the sessions from the previous month. So we've got the upcoming webinars, and then we've got our one pager here listed in our knowledge base. So lots of great resources for you. The basics and brush ups webinar is hosted on the first Thursday or first Tuesday of every month, which is why my webinar is hosted on Thursdays. So it gives you a nice little break in between. But yeah, hope to see y'all there.
And then if you have any questions about or like suggestions on future webinars that you'd like to see, please just reach out and let our customer care team know, and they'll make sure that that gets back to us. And we will take that into consideration. We really just want to make sure that we're providing value here with these webinars, making sure you're up to speed on new features that we release and how you can use those features in your workflow and pipeline and make your lives easier. That is, I think that's it.
Yeah. We're just 1 minute over the back 15, so it's perfect timing. Typically, the back 15 is either reserved for questions if we've got enough coming in, or we give you 15 minutes of your day back. It's really up to you. So we'll hang out for till about 2:50-ish, see if anyone else has any kind of resounding questions. And then if not, you all have a great rest of your day, and thank you for attending.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Also, by the way, we got 83% of our participants today are proficient and ready to get in there and start making changes. So that is great.
That's awesome. Well, I'm excited to see how people start utilizing those, like these new changes to the visibility settings. I think it will be great. We've got 4% are experts. So sounds like maybe we have someone else that could run our webinar next time.
And I know Annie already said it, but we are always looking for ways to improve, ways to innovate, ways to bring more usability and approachability to these webinars. So if you do have any feedback, we would love to hear it. Call, email, or chat. They'll definitely tag us in to any webinar related items. This goes for the product webinars, our basics and brush ups, and even our onboarding bootcamp, like how we could adapt that or make it a little bit more customizable. So closing it out here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for joining. And there was someone just mentioned that they're looking forward to receiving the recording. So we'll make sure that gets out to everybody. Thank you for joining.
And there will be a follow-up survey. It was covered in the poll, but for those that did not attend, hopefully you'll watch the recording and then be able to respond to the survey and we'll get a better gauge. We did have a record number of registrants for this webinar, so it's very exciting.
Yeah, I just also want to thank everybody for just engaging too. It makes it a lot more fun to see questions coming into the question box and people engaging with the polls. I just really appreciate it. And, I just have a lot of respect for our pipeline customers. You guys are awesome. And I just appreciate, all of the feedback you provide to the portal, jumping in, asking questions, and being here today on this webinar. So thank you all so much. I think that's it. Don't see any questions coming in. So with that, I think we'll give everyone 11 minutes back in their day. And Kimberly, thank you. This was great. It's good to see you as always.
Good to see you as well. And thank you, Ashley, for this incredible support in the question box.
Appreciate it.
Have a great day.
All right, bye, everybody.
Bye.